Your job is a tornado, and it's waiting for you every day. You get out of your car, and it's waiting for you at the door. You open the door, and, sucks you in. I'm going to tell you what.
Man, you did really, really good.
You see, business will always be about people. It doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we push. The business is only as strong as the people who run it. It will always be about people. And that's why the tornado concept is so important, because most of us wait for the tornado to stop, when in reality, the tornado never stops. The only thing that we need to control is us inside the tornado. That skill set that we develop that approaches the tornado on purpose. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Oh, attitude is a skill set. Attitude is definitely a skill set. You know those situations that you walk into on purpose? Those ones that you walk in and you say, oh, I better handle this one just right? Well, that's you actually dipping into your bag of skills and taking out your attitude and slipping it on over your eyes and your mouth and your heart. So what I'm talking about is approaching your jobs on purpose. You see, the definition of a professional in my mind is somebody who knows why they say what they say when they say it. Why they do what they do when they do it. There are three things that you must address on purpose when you're dealing with the personal side of the interaction. You have to make sure that you're addressing the self-esteem. How do you show somebody that you're listening not only to the words but the person themselves? And how do you gain involvement? Do these three things on purpose because it's needed, not for you but for them. I'm talking about having impact on purpose. Now, most of us wait for the company culture to do something or for it to come on high, but in reality, we all have impact whether we know it or not. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. How many of you know that person just because they walk into the room, you go, oh, thank goodness they're here, just by walking in? Or how many of you know those folks that just because they show up, you go, oh, no. Yeah, that could be you. How many of you work with somebody who's retired, but their body shows up to work every single day? Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want that to be you. We have to have impact on purpose. So why are we doing this? Why are we focusing on all these things, saying things on purpose, approaching our jobs on purpose, talking to our customers, internal and external, on purpose? Well, it comes down to this. Do you truly understand the power that you have in this organization? I mean, do you? Because if you did, you'd approach your job on purpose more and more. The impact that you have is so important. Let me tell you a story. I'm a frequent flyer with American Airlines. Anybody else? American Airlines? Now, the way it used to work is, when you fly American Airlines a lot, as much as I do, you can join their frequent flyer program, which I'm a proud member of. And when I first got started, I asked them, I said, how do you become a gold or platinum or executive platinum flyer? And they said, well, first give up your family. And unfortunately, that's true, because in order to become a platinum flyer, which I am, you have to fly 50,000 miles. And now, considering, coast to coast is 3,000 miles, that's a lot of miles in a year. And I love my family. I hate being away from my family. So if I have to travel, I like to zip in and zip out. Now, I'm kind of a simple guy, to be honest with you. It doesn't really take much to make me happy, but I got to tell you, I love being in first class. I really do. I'm sorry if that makes me a snob, but it's just nothing. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, how would you describe first class? See, the way I describe first class is, this is coach, this is first class. Coach, first class. I don't think you're hearing me. Coach, first class. I'm a big guy. I know. I'm shaped like a dad. I know. I'm that large guy walking down the aisle, and you're looking at me going, please don't sit by me, please don't sit by me, please don't sit by me. I know. I see ya. See ya. So I love getting bumped up to first class. And I got to tell you, when I first got started and became a platinum flyer, they used to send us stickers. And the way it works is, as a perk for flying so much, they would give you these stickers. And the long ones were good for 1,000 miles. The short ones were good for 500 miles. So depending on how far you were flying, it took that many stickers. Now, I would fly from Dallas to Boston every other week. Week on, week off. It was very hard, but I was paying my dues. That's a good flight to get upgraded on. It's 3.5 hours. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. I absolutely loved it. And I would bring my stickers. It was always a long and a short sticker. So I always look forward to Boston because, 3.5 hours first class. I get to see comfortably. I'm excited. Well, I'm coming home. It's 5 days of coaching, training, and it's 5 days of this energy. Can you imagine? So I'm dead tired. Well, how would you describe Logan Airport? It's a sea of humanity, isn't it? One of the world's largest airports. And I'm walking up to the line, and I know I'm going to pay a long and a short sticker. Evelyn, lovely Evelyn, is behind the counter, and it's my turn, and I go walking up. And I say, I give her my stuff, and I say, hello, Evelyn. Nothing. Just, it's okay. I come across a little strong sometimes, I understand, so I back off. And Evelyn says, Mr. Hoffman, it seems you've been upgraded to first class. And I said, yes, I have, Evelyn. And she says, that'll be 2 long stickers. And I said, no. No, Evelyn, it's a long and a short, isn't it? It's a long and a short. I've always paid a long and a short. When did it change? And she says, Mr. Hoffman, it's never changed. It's always been 2 longs. Are you going to upgrade? And I went, well, Evelyn, it's never been 2 longs. It's always been a long and a short. And I took out my platinum card because I didn't want to seem pushy. So I said, you know, my platinum card, I'm not making it up. It's always been a long and a short. And she says, Mr. Hoffman, I don't know what you're trying to pull, but it's always been 2 longs. I'm not trying to pull anything, Evelyn. This stinks. It's always been a long and a short. Well, I'm not paying $40 for another sticker, so go ahead and put me in the back. She goes, Mr. Hoffman, we're all sold out. You'll have to come back tomorrow morning. No, Evelyn, fine, I give her my card. She runs it, and she says, Mr. Hoffman, your card's been declined. I can't even buy an upgrade sticker. Okay, well, Evelyn, here's something. If I don't have enough money for an upgrade sticker, I don't have enough money for a hotel room. Don't make me sleep in the airport, Evelyn. I'll be honest with you, the only reason I'm asking to take this seat in first class is because I've always paid a long and a short. I've never paid 2 longs. She goes, Mr. Hoffman, I can't help you. I said, well, Evelyn, I'm not sleeping in the airport. It's never been 2 longs. It's always been a long and a short. You get me a supervisor. And she does. And the supervisor does this. And the supervisor goes, Mr. Hoffman, it's 2 longs. Well, have you ever felt like this on the inside? You know, you're getting mad. Well, I'm trying to be calm. I said, well, you know, I appreciate the fact that it's 2 longs. I got to tell you, I've never paid 2 longs, but that's not really the point. What I'm looking for is a little help here. I'm an American Flyer Platinum. Don't make me sleep in the airport, please. Please, can I get this sticker? I'll pay when I get back, anything. But I flew 50,000 miles last year. Please don't make me sleep on the bench. I can't even pay for a hotel room. And she says, I can't help you. I said, well, then you get me customer service who can, because I'm not sleeping on the... I'm getting ugly. Have you ever had that face? I feel terrible. And she gets the customer service on the phone and hands it to me. And I said, hello, and she goes, Mr. Hoffman, I say, if you say 2 longs, I'm going to bite your head off. Because that's not really the issue now. I don't want to sleep in the airport. Can you hook a brother up? You know. And she goes, well, Mr. Hoffman, it's always been 2 longs. That's not really the point. Isn't there a grace mileage? I said, you know, how far is it from Dallas to Boston? I've never had to give up these stickers before. It's always been a long and a short. And she goes, yes, we have a grace mileage of 50 miles. I said, well, how far is it from Dallas to Boston? She goes, let me look it up. 1,561 miles. And that's when I lost it in Logan Airport. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. What? 11 miles? You busted my chops for 11 miles? We taxi at DFW for 11 miles. For crying out loud. You know what she said? All right, we'll give it to you. Yeah! So I'm going, oh, okay, fine. I'll tell you what. I'm never flying. I'm cutting up my card. Oh, I'm never flying this. You know, I'm Evelyn. Her pictures. Right. Oh, I grabbed Evelyn, shaved her head. Look, 6s. She's evil. Evil Evelyn. I was mad. I'm down in first class. You know, they're talking to each other too. They're just going, don't look at them. Just get them on the plane. Don't look. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. And I'm sitting in first class. I'm mad. I'm waiting for someone to say something. Go ahead. Say something. Go ahead. I've never been so ugly in public. I feel terrible. And up comes Shirley. And Shirley says, Mr. Hoffman. I'm looking at her. She says, we hear there's been an altercation. Actually, we heard it all the way down here. Looking at her. She says, Mr. Hoffman, I cannot fathom what you had to go through to have that face. And I know these are your last 3 hours on American. I just want you to know that there's a management problem, and there's probably going to be a walkout. And remember that strike they had about 10 years ago? This is how long I've been telling the story. It was right then. I didn't care. It doesn't matter to me, Shirley. I was treated so rudely, and I feel ugly. I feel terrible. Just get me home. I'm never flying again. That's what I wanted to say. She goes, I'm glad we have you for 3 hours. Do you know what she did for me for 3 hours? Everything. I had 12 bowls of warm nuts. It was fantastic. I had 18 of those wet towels they give you to wash your hands. Just steam bath all over me. You know what she did? She let me, I was joking with her after a while, and I said, Shirley, here's the deal. I feel embarrassed. These people think I'm some yelling ogre. I lost it in the airport. I feel embarrassed. She let me open up the beverage cart in the back. I got to go in the back and go, hi, I'm Mike. I'm from first class. Who wants a beverage? And they're going, woo, Mike in first class. All right. It was wonderful. I got off the plane that day waving the flag going, try to get upgraded if you can. It's fantastic. Here's the moral of the story. Who was Evelyn to me? Whose card was I cutting up? American Airlines. Who was Evelyn to me? Who did I vow never to fly again? American Airlines. Who was Evelyn to me? Everything she said, everything she did was everything American Airlines stood for. She didn't get it. She didn't know her power. She didn't know her place. Who was Shirley to me? American Airlines. Everything she said, everything she did was American Airlines. She got it. She used her skill sets to turn an angry customer around. Now, I am not their biggest customer. I have not spent the most money with them, but I guarantee you I've been with them as a platinum flyer for 10 years. And I talk about Shirley all the time. Saint Shirley. Woo! Let me ask you this. Do you understand your power? Do you understand your position? Do you understand why you approach your job on purpose? Do you understand why it's important for you to invest in yourself on the skill sets of people every day? Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you go out and face that tornado tomorrow, we need professionals. We need people approaching people on purpose. So that when you approach that tornado on purpose, everything you do and everything you say is everything this company stands for. And we appreciate you doing it on purpose. Thank you very much. I surveyed the top 100 people at our gathering today, and I asked them, share with me, won't you? Open up your hearts. Let me in. Help me understand what's really happening. What do you love about what you do? And here's some of the answers I got. You know what I love, Mike? I love living in a cubicle that's 3 by 5 and having to share it with somebody. You know what I love, Mike? I love truly angry customers. I love angry customers that use vulgarity. Nice. You know what I love, Mike? I love ignorant customers. I love customers that you just can't help no matter what you do. I love email. Some people said, you know what I love, Mike? I love dealing in obscurity. Nobody really knows what I do here. Woo! You know what I love, Mike? I love dealing with no vision. Who knows where we're going? And who knows how to get there? We're just coming to work every day. Yeah. Does anybody get that list? Am I close to that list at all? Exactly. That's our life, isn't it? Well, let me ask you this. How long have you been working here? I mean, we've been talking with some of you folks. You've been around forever. Well, let me ask you this. Did you have people issues 5 years ago? 10 years ago? How about customer issues? How about communication issues? How about product issues? Products that aren't in stock and probably never will be. How about technology issues? Absolutely. The point is that this stuff has been around forever. And it's going to be for the next 5 years. Can you imagine what we're doing 5 years from now? What we're going to be marketing, what we're going to be selling, what we're going to be doing as a company 5 years from now? Absolutely nuts. Now, for those of you who are brand new to the organization, who's been around for less than a year, Absolutely. You folks, the newbies, did they tell you that list when you got hired? I mean, did they share that list with you at all? Did they say, welcome to the organization, I appreciate you being here. How can I set you up for success? You're going to be dealing with all kinds of angry customers. Customers you won't be able to handle or solve their problems at all. It'll be fun. So glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Did they give you that list? Did they give you that list when you got hired? No. But how many of you would say that list is true? Absolutely. See, for those of you who are here for less, let me set you up for success. How to be successful in this organization. How to be successful with this association. Your job. How can I describe it for you? It's a tornado. Technically. That's exactly. Am I off? Your job is a tornado, and it's waiting for you every day. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You get out of your car, and it's waiting for you at the door. You open the door, and, sucks you in. 5 o'clock, we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, Joe. Bye-bye. Am I close? That's reality, isn't it? Absolutely. The tornado is what we face every day. Absolutely every day. The sad thing is most of us wait for the tornado to stop. We think of our jobs and we get depressed. We get upset about our positions, the things that we hold, and sometimes we feel helpless in the positions that we hold. Boy, I can't wait for that to change. Well, how many of you know the tornado never changes? There's always change. It's always. Can you imagine the things that we're going to be dealing with 5 years from now? We're going to be selling stuff that's probably not even invented yet. Isn't that cool? There'll always be the tornado. The tornado means change. The tornado means business. If the tornado ever stops, we're all out of a job. See, the tornado shouldn't stop. But there should be one thing that does change constantly. And that's what? That's us. In the tornado, in the midst of the tornado, every single day. The only thing I can do to help tame that tornado is to impact me, my skill sets. Let me ask you this. How many of you have children? How many know of children? Raise your hand. Yeah, okay. Have you ever seen a child? Ever? Sir? Very nice. Well, how many of you have ever been to the birthing of a child? Technically all of us, thank you very much. But I mean actually been to the birthing of a child, and how many times has the doctor come to you and gone, oh, congratulations, you have an effective customer service person. Oh, look at the manager on that little face. What a coach and problem solver. Congratulations. Is that the truth? No. Why? Because we're little babies. We're little cherubs. We're blank. We go, little babies. And as we grow, we develop this bag of skill sets. This stuff that when you walk into a situation, you reach into your bag of skill sets and you say, I'm going to handle it this way. Blah! And that takes skill. Well, we're going to spend some time doing two things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to celebrate you and the position that you hold in this organization. Because I think you're doing miraculous things every day that need to be noted, that need to be emphasized, that you need to be aware of, because I want you to do them again, on purpose. And then we're going to talk about skills that we can add to your bag. Some you're going to recognize, some you need to add. And in doing so, you're going to walk away from today not only feeling a little bit more effective in where you're at, but also knowing what to say and when to say it when we leave. Are you ready to go? Excellent. Let's get going. Paralanguage is everything that surrounds your words. It's your eye contact. It's the volume of your voice, the tone of your voice. It's your smile. It's how you lean in when you're listening. It's the way you hold your body. It's the way you the head nodding, or those guttural affirmations when you go, mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's those responses that scream more than your words. As a matter of fact, statistically, and this has been proven over and over and over again, 92% of our communication doesn't even come from our words. It comes from our paralanguage. And you know it's true because you hear juries say things like, oh, you could tell he was guilty, look at his eyes. Or she sounded so good. Well, they're talking about their paralanguage. For instance, if I was to say, welcome to the company. I'm glad you're here. You're going to be a big, big hit. And, I want to be your greatest resource, so if there's anything that I can do for you, just be sure to let me know. What did I say? Yeah. I said all the right words, didn't I? I think you're the greatest person. I'm glad you're here. You're going to be a big success. I want to be your greatest resource. So I'm something else. Yes. So what you're saying is that this number is correct. The majority of my communication doesn't even come from my words. I remember there was a time that I was coming home from work, and my children were very little. I had 4 within 4 years. And my oldest was 4 years old. And there was a time, how many of you know that when you come home from work, this is your face? You know, you could have had a great day. How was your day? Oh, the day was great. Yeah, it was fun. Now, on the inside, I feel fine. But on the outside, the tornado of business has impacted my person. And there was a while when I would come home from work and I'd open up the door and the kids would just come up to me and they'd go, "Is Daddy mad? Daddy, are you mad? Is Daddy mad? Daddy's mad?" And after a while, you know, that'd make you mad. You'd go, "Well, I'm not mad. Why are you asking me if I'm mad?" And the kids would, run all over the place. Well, I had my little daughter. She's 4 years old. She's sitting on my lap. And she says, "Daddy, are you mad?" And I said, honey, I'm not mad. Why do you keep asking me if I'm mad?" And she takes her little thumbs and she pushes up my eyebrows. And she says, "Okay, now you're not mad." And I went, "Oh, you're a genius." She's brilliant. Absolutely. She nailed it. What she was telling me was, "Dad, your communication, your paralanguage is screaming." And she was right. Do you know for a whole year what I did? I took a 3x5 card and painted eyebrows on it and put it on a thumbtack above my door. So every time I came home, it reminded me to get your eyebrows up. And it worked. I would come home and go, "Hey, Dad's home." And it would go, "Oh, Dad's home, yay!" It told me what I had to do to impact my paralanguage. When it comes to listening, you have to deal with empathy. Empathy is the part of the skill set of listening that we have to master if we're going to address the people side of an interaction. And most people don't understand the game. If you think about it, as a person, we are both emotional and logical. We're not one or the other. Even highly analytical people are still emotional. If we were all logic, we'd be Spock. But if we were all emotional, we'd be Richard Simmons. That's not correct. No, we're both. We're actually both. The challenge is, when you're dealing with an emotional person, is that as emotion fills the brain, it pushes the logic out of the conversation, which really plays havoc when you're trying to solve whatever is causing this person to be emotional. Most people don't understand this people game. For instance, when emotion is unbalanced, what's the worst thing you could say to anybody who's emotional? Yeah, now just calm down. Sir, you'll have to calm down. Because what are they going to do? They're going to do just the opposite. Exactly. You have to address the heart first. The challenging part with that with most of us is, because you are in the position that you are, you're problem solvers. That's why you've risen in the company. You probably have an answer or two. But we just have to play the game first. I must address the heart before I address the head. So how do you do that? You do that by labeling the feeling, even if you're wrong. It's like holding up a mirror to somebody and saying, "I see you as a person. I recognize the emotion that you're feeling." Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it. As a matter of fact, I may think you're totally too much. You should not be angry over this, sir. I don't have to agree, but it's called validating. And the way you validate is you label the emotion. You say things like, "Well, I can see that made you angry," or "It is frustrating." That, you're labeling the emotion. I remember I was working with a client, and I was shopping their stores and working with their salespeople. And I was working with a salesperson on the floor, and in back of me was a situation that was brewing. There was a gentleman who came into the store, and he's got his bill, and his bill says $400, and he expected it to be $40. So you can imagine he's very upset about this, and he wants somebody's head on a platter. So naturally, the office sends out the cutest little assistant manager they could possibly find, and she's out talking with him. Now, as I'm talking with the sales manager, it's starting to heat up back here, the salesperson, and we stop doing what we're doing, and we're listening. And as this man is talking, he's getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And this assistant manager has the best intention. She's trying to solve his problems. But she's saying things like, "Sir, if you would just, sir," and she's trying to cut him off. And as I'm listening, we're going, "Oh, just Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. And out it came. Sir, you're going to have to calm down. So naturally, he's talking, he goes, I'm so sorry. I had no intention of getting so boisterous. I apologize. Is that what he said? No! He exploded! She exploded! There were a piece of her in my hair for weeks. I mean, he ate her head. Literally. I'll tell you to calm down! Oh, he went absolutely nuts. Now, what should she have done? She wants to solve the problem. She wants to move forward. But she can't do it yet because she doesn't know the game. She's got to address his heart first. What should she have done? She should have listened to him. She should have asked follow-up questions like, what else? Well, tell me what happened. And what was it supposed to be? Give me data. Voice your expression. Give me your pain. It's okay. And as he's giving her a pain, she needs to validate it. Well, I can see why you're angry. Or it is frustrating. This was not our intent at all. Tell me what else. And as she would have listened, he would have balanced out very quickly and then moved to solution. You have to address the emotion first. So when it came to having roadside assistance, your reason was, I live alone. I live alone. Okay, now I know we did this really fast, but let me see if I can make this or have this make sense to you. It really comes down to this. Most people, when we think of features and benefits, when I'm trying to sell an idea, when I'm trying to get my message across, we all know what features and benefits are. Feature is the thing and the benefits of what it does for you. But listen to what we just created in those few minutes here. If I was an average salesperson or customer service person, and my product is roadside assistance, it's $3 with this particular service, sir, you might sound something like this. Mr. Hoffman, I'm going to recommend roadside assistance. It's an extra $3 a month, and basically what it is a 24/7 service. It'll always be with you in case you run out of gas or lock your keys in the car, or if you need a jump start. It basically gives you some safety and security, and it's an extra $3 on your charge every month. Now that built value, didn't it? I mean, I'm going to ask you for this much. I built this much value. But listen to what a 1%er does. Listen to what somebody who approaches their job on purpose and understands the game says. Mr. Hoffman, I'm going to recommend roadside assistance for your phone. It's an extra $3 a month in service, but technically what it is it's a 24/7 service in case you run out of gas or if you lock your keys in the car, if you need a jump start. Gives you a little extra safety and security, and it stays with your phone. Now that's going to be important to you and worth the $3 because you're going to night school. And if you ever need any help at night, you stay with the car and help comes to you. Now, does that sound different? Does that sound, do you think it'd be a little bit more valuable for that $3 for that particular person? Well, we've had 4 different people that we talked to in the last few minutes there. I could give you the same 2 columns, and the 3rd column will change for everybody. You need roadside assistance because you're at night school. And I appreciate the fact that you're young and you're healthy, but, it's at night, and you want to make sure if you had trouble, help comes to you. You, ma'am, have 4 kids. And if you ever have trouble on the side of the road, you don't leave the car. Not with those children. Help comes to you. Sir, I'm going to recommend roadside assistance because your job takes you on the road. And the nice thing about it is it stays with the phone, not the car. You could be in any car, and they'll come and give you all of this help. And ma'am, I'm going to recommend it for you because you live alone. And there's nothing more scary. I appreciate you sharing that history with me when you ran out of gas and you were stuck on the side of the road and no one would stop to help you. It's worth an extra $3 a month. Do you see the difference between just knowing your product and connecting your product or feature to the customer? Now, where do most of us get our training when it comes to products? Oh, we know our features, and you go to school for weeks to learn your products. But what do we learn? We learn this middle column, and we get really good at it. And most people think that if I tell you enough of this middle column that we will call not the benefits, although they're beneficial, we're going to call that the description. Description of the product. The real benefits only come from the customer. The benefits come from the customer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've just met that customer. So to think you know what's going to push their buttons to have them plunk down extra money for your service, extra money for your product is totally guessing. The smartest person, customer service person, salesperson, has this thought going through them the whole time. I don't know jack about you. I don't know jack about you. Oh, I know my products. I'm very knowledgeable about my products, but I don't know jack about you. I didn't know you were in night school. I didn't know you had 4 kids. I didn't know you live on the road. I didn't know that you have history that will make this more valuable to you. I have to come in stupid. It's the greatest thing we could do as a salesperson. You know, last year, America sold over 4 billion quarter-inch drill bits, and not one of those customers wanted a quarter-inch drill bit. They wanted a quarter-inch hole. But they needed the drill bit to get the hole. Ladies and gentlemen, your knowledge is not where your power is. Your power is your ability to be stupid, get in front of your customer, and with an open mind start asking questions because you don't know jack.